Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be continuing and finishing off the narration and character voice acting for the Exodus from the Pale Sea story. Right then, final part, but as always, to anybody who bumps into the voiceover through this very episode, you can find the full playlist for this in the description of the video, so just hit that one up, enjoy, and thank you very much. But yeah, final part, so let's get into this. And as always, considering this is the finale, like I just said, we are gonna have the little bit at the end of today's episode where I talk a bit about the story, the characters and stuff like that, aka my thoughts and opinions essentially of the story and everything else. And yeah, that will be at the end, and of course the boss battle will also be included in today's part. But yeah, this part took a bit longer to record, not because the story at the end is super long, but because certain elements were a bit strenuous on a ye old voice, and you guys will see, or rather hear very soon as to why. That's as much as I'm gonna say here at the beginning, but this has been quite the finale to a story, and I can only say right now I have enjoyed it. But I hope you guys will enjoy as well. But before we get to it, as always, recap and then we head in. To those of you who wanna skip the recap, you can do so by the links down in the comment section below, by the timestamps. Well, anyway, last time we began with Juana revealing to us that she has some secret that revolves around a trapped seaborn in a cave. Meanwhile, Thorns is out with some of the pirates, but an accident happens and the pirate assigned to watch over Thorns, Sesk, gets his foot stuck under a boulder. Even though Thorns was looking to use this opportunity to escape, he comes back and helps with the amputation of Sesk's leg to set him free and save his life. Back in Aron, Vidi and Elysium hear about the pirates from Silver and the townsfolk, and that spooks Elysium enough that he runs off alone to try and find and save Thorns. Some short time later, the pirates are out hunting a massive saltfin, while Juana is leading the hunt and Thorns is taking part. The hunt is successful, but Juana gets injured in the scuffle with the saltfin. Unbeknownst to them, the Inquisition, led by Silver and Anastasio, is ready to ambush them and get the pirates and their newly hunted prey. The pirates and Inquisition engage in battle, but the pirates have to retreat and leave the saltfin behind. Back at camp, the pirates are treating their wounded, and Thorns visits one of them. Sesk got hit by an arrow and is slowly dying, and Thorns spends his last moments with him. Sometime later in Aron, Silver is telling Anastasia about his plans for the captured pirates they have and how he wants them to stir trouble in their own camp. Thorns, on the other hand, has finally agreed to help repair the compass, and Juana leads him to a cabin on one of their ships that was a former alchemy lab. Later that day, Elysium finally makes it into their camp, but is being sold there and Pasquala buys him. In the meantime, Juana shows Thorns the imprisoned seaborn and explains that it is the original captain of their crew. Back at camp, Pasquala overhears Javier and Russ talk about some worrying things, and seeing that she will need someone to protect her, she enlists Elysium to go and curry favor with the alchemist. Elysium and Thorns then, upon seeing each other, have a big bro moment, and then the repairs for the compass proceed, but they are not going well, and Thorns needs more material to work with. Thorns and Juana go then back to the Seaborn to kill it and get the much more needed materials from it. Back in the camp, a mutiny is starting, and Pasquala and Elysium get captured by Ross and Javier. Once Juana and Thorns come back, they negotiate with Javier, but it is Pasquala who manages to convince them all to give Thorns a week to try and repair the compass. Sadly, Thorns never manages to do so, and all his attempts end in failure. Meanwhile, Javier goes to speak and parley with Silver and Anastasio back in Aron. And yeah, that is pretty much where we left off last time, so let's proceed with today's part. And of course, today we shall be going from where we left off on stage number 6 all the way to the ending. So then, stage number 6, titled When the Way Out Burns. He kept trying to cut his losses, control the damage, and leave himself an exit strategy, until every last escape route was swallowed by flames.
can't believe she let us leave. I thought for sure we'd be tied up and handed over to the Inquisition.
Shh. I know no amount of apologies will make up for your loss.
I suppose this is the end, Isidro. You needn't worry. I don't blame you. It's not your fault. I accepted the consequences when I made my choice.
I know it was you who bore the brunt of your crew's wrath for us, and I know it was you who saved Pasquala's life. Maybe you could come with us.
You would certainly be in grave danger if you stay, Senora. Go. Weren't you discussing how we'd escape earlier? Here's your chance. I'm the leader of the fleet. I won't abandon my crew. This was my oath to crews, and one which I will never turn my back on.
Senora Juana, there's something I need to return to you.
You can keep the clothes and the sword. Consider it payment for your troubles.
No, not that.
What else is there?
The young man reaches into his pocket, but suddenly stops. He lets out a slow breath and takes out the object.
The compass? No, I don't understand. If it's undamaged, then what is the debris in the lab? If you haven't been repairing the compass, then what have you been doing? Answer me!
The destroyed compass was a replica. I never touched the original.
Whew. But what? How come no one ever told me? When you make the switch?
I never told anyone.
I don't understand. Why?
The corazonics in the compass was far more complex than expected. If I'm unable to replicate it perfectly, that means I haven't understood its true nature. In which case, attempting to manipulate the actual corazonics could only lead to failure. But I couldn't afford to fail. Your hopes, the future of the fleet, the fates of Elysium and Pasquala, all of that was on my shoulders. So if I was doomed to fail, I thought I should at least limit the damage. That's why I tried to replicate the corazonics. If I proved incapable of understanding it, at least you could keep the original and find a better alchemist. I left some of the materials you gave me behind for the fleet as well. I'm sorry. I tried.
Isidro, is this your idea of giving it your all?
The chance of failure was at least 87%. This was the safest way I could think of.
Are you that afraid of failure? Even if the chance of success were 1 in 10,000, I would have wagered everything on it.
That's not experimentation. That's gambling.
Have you ever considered that the odds of getting a second chance might be even lower? Tell me, is life a gamble or an experiment? Reed on our way to pick me up. Are you coming with us?
My journey is not yet over. I will continue.
What about you, Pasquala? Come with me. I can find a way to get you out of here at least. Alright. Take care, Isidro. Take care.
You too. Both of you. Senor Silver. You're willing to stay. Good. Very good. Have you forgotten? I've got a bad leg. Can't go. No, I haven't. You were injured during the second raid, correct? See, you have forgotten. It happened on the day of the execution. You treated the wound yourself, but it ended up infected anyway. If, hypothetically, if I were a better doctor and fixed your leg then, would you have come with us now? Of course. I see.
What were the two of you discussing? It is time.
Senor Anastasio.
Yes?
It is an honor working with you. Where were you, Senora?
Saw the kids off. I did what you told me to. Take the crew and Nene. Lie low in the salt flat for a few days.
I can't leave you here by yourself.
This is an order. Teach.
Under the moon, Isidro walks by himself through the salt flat, leaving behind a trail of lonely footprints. He does not know how long he has walked. The entire night, probably. He feels like he has let a lot of people down, but does not know what he did wrong. Suddenly he feels lonely and wishes he were with a friend. Then he realizes he just bid farewell to Elysium. Perhaps Vidi has already found him. Their mission would have come to a close after confirming he was safe. Perhaps they're discussing the journey out of the flat and their next mission even now. As for him, he will continue his journey alone. Nothing wrong with that. No attachments, no responsibility. You should have had those extra swigs of something, Garum. The guards have bbeen eliminated. Inform the Yellow Seal that the intel is good. Prepare to advance.
You work fast, Javier.
You're alone.
As you can see.
You shouldn't have been left unguarded.
Maybe because the one who should have been protecting me is standing before me now, pointing the blade I made for him at me. Go on, kill me, and the fleet is yours.
Juana is in our custody. Keep an eye on her, but don't let her get hurt.
What a joke.
How did you find this place? Which Finshit sold us out? Even now you think of vengeance? Meet your end, villain!
What of the compass? Have you learned anything?
Nothing, Senora Lucille. It's all rank-and-file thugs who can hardly string two sentences together. We won't find anything unless we go deeper into their base.
Do not stop without my direct command. Everything here must be cleansed with fire.
There is no reason to allow such tools of sin to continue to exist. Sir! A noise rouses Isidro from his musings and causes him to halt his steps. He turns around and sees the dark night lit up on the horizon. That's a... It is the light of a raging fire. No, in the direction of the fleet. How could it... Isidro steps forward without hesitation. It is a decision made not with reason, but pure impulse. He runs as if his life depends on it, retracing his old set of footprints towards the direction that he came from. That same set of footprints is no longer lonely. Don't bother searching. You won't find it. The sailors told me that the kid screwed up. The compass was wrecked. It'd be of no use even if you found it. Do not think to presume whether it is of use to me or not, bandits. Yeah. Pardon. I have safeguarded the compass for nearly a decade and slain all who reached for it. Even if it has become dust, I must see this dust with my own eyes. Where is your leader? We had a deal. One will be spared. And how does your agreement with Silver concern me? Surely the woman fled with the compass, yes? This tale of alchemical failure or ruse? A lie. To protect the woman for the sake of your own desires? You too ought to be cleansed. I'm not lying. One doesn't have the compass. Whatever is left of it is of no use to her. It's the alchemist and his lab you should be looking for. And where might that be? Second tent in the back row. There's a secret door leading to the lab. More lies. Do not make me cut you down where you stand. On the ground. Don't move a muscle. Is it true? We'll all get pardoned if you find the compass? Are we gonna get a lighter punishment if we don't resist? Fools. Okay. Chaval. Teach? What's going on? Javier led the Inquisition to us. Senora Juana is being held captive in the captain's quarters. Why did you come back? I don't know. Same reason as you, probably. Wait, is that one of your friends hiding on the opposite deck?
Huh? Is that Isidro? I guess he really did come back. Huh. See? I told you. I mean, even I couldn't stay away.
Of course he'd come back when he saw the fire. He's my best amigo after all.
What about me? Why did I have to come too?
To help put out the fire? Oh! Wake up, senora.
Perlita? Where's Nene? You shouldn't have come back.
I set it free in the flat. It may be weak, but better out there than getting killed by mutineers. We can't just leave you here. You don't look well. What did I do to you?
Nothing. Just give me some drugs. You could have fled. You would have lived.
I didn't think you were someone who would give up so easily.
Now that we're all here, don't we have better things to do than just talk? You know the salt flat better than anyone else, Senora. Is there anywhere we can go? How big is our group?
24.
Excellent. Enough to commandeer a ship.
Which one?
La Conquista.
That's the oldest one, slower than the newer salt ships.
But I know it best. Besides, because they consider it an antique, it will be lightly guarded. All the easier for us.
I'll take 8 men up to the deck and get rid of these sentries. The others will go in through the side with Elysium and deal with the rest. What about me? Stay with Senora Juana. She's, not at her best and won't be able to move as quickly. Okay. What's that noise? My aching bones. Maybe I'm getting too old for this.
The guys on the deck are out cold. I tossed them overboard.
Good. Climb the mast and be ready to hoist the sail at my command. We'll need full speed on the double. You done over there? We got the ones below deck. A hand, please? Now we wait for the boss. Search inch by inch. By the Yellow Seal's orders, we must find a compass. We've thrown every room upside down, but haven't found anything remotely like it. Keep looking. Don't miss a single nook or corner. Yes, sir. Senores, the Yellow Seal has issued new orders. A squad is to come with me to pursue the fleeing alchemist. And why are you the one delivering the order? What's wrong with that? We're still working together according to our agreement. Very well. Wait here while we muster the men. Gracias.
What is Javier doing over here?
No idea, but he's gotten rid of the warrior priest for us, even if he didn't mean to. When they leave, we continue behind those tents. They won't be able to see us from any of the assault ships.
I can see you become an expert at sneaking through our base.
Hang on, we're almost there.
Okay.
Go on to the deck first. I need to fetch something from the lab.
Be quick. A ship from the old era. Does your desire for the compass point towards the source of the calamity? The ocean?
Where did I leave it? You. It is you who has been leading the raids.
And it is you who has been repairing the compass. People always tell me to look for the good in others. The truth always proves them fools. When first we met, I knew you intended to take the compass for your own sinful alchemical research. I was right.
The compass is no more. I'm still trying to scrape what's left of it off the transmutation table.
That black mud? No, that is not the true compass. Your lies have no purchase here.
Must the Inquisition spill so much blood for each thing it loses?
You know that the compass corrupts the heart.
It's nothing more than a tool for sailing the seas.
Sailing the seas? Those who attempt to elude both judgment and the reins of morality often seek out thorny paths that few have walked, and distant shores that none have reached. As if their accomplishments could offer a sanctuary for their sins.
I don't recall sinning.
Harboring a thief, feeding upon the remains of the townsfolk, assaulting a cleric of the Inquisition, associating with bandits who menace the town. Is that not enough?
Pretexts and framed crimes.
And now you begin to deny your sins.
All who have sinned will desperately deny it. I was no exception.
But I learned to accept my sins, and thus discover the path of atonement. My life was born from the evils of cannibalism. My very being is a sin. I am unworthy of the liberation of death. But you were once pure and upright. Before desire corrupted you, you have the right to die. I will free you.
You're insane. I don't have time for this.
Strange. Why isn't Isidro here? It's alright. He must be somewhere on the ship, so everybody's accounted for. I'm just waiting on your orders, Senora. Hoist the sails. We sail. This ship...
Mierda, Juana doesn't know this lunatic is in here. He'll be nothing but trouble once the ship starts moving.
Everyone involved in this futile escape attempt is on the ship, correct?
Shut it.
This is where it ends for all of you, along with the sinful vessel of the old era.
The Alaseal's attacks are ferocious. All Isidro can do is defend himself. This is getting me nowhere. I have to do something. This is his own lab. There must be something he can do here. What does he do best? During the time he spent here, his most frequent creations were undoubtedly explosions of various sizes. Explosions. This calls for an explosion.
Thorns? Finally, you were starting to scare me when you went down to the lab and didn't come back.
I ran into someone from the Inquisition there.
I thought we cleaned out the cabins.
I don't know how he got there. He just came in all of a sudden looking for the compass, and wasn't in a mood to negotiate. I had to blow up the lab to eject him from the ship.
Him and half of the ship. Good work. Is there anything from the lab left, though?
Maybe.
Very well. We're going into the skeletal reef. The ocean lies just beyond that. You might have one last chance to repair the compass before we arrive.
Senor Silver, the Yellow Seal is still on that ship. We must come to his aid. No. No one could survive an explosion like that. But Yellow Seal... I said no. Will we let his martyrdom go to waste, sacrificing the living for the sake of the departed?
But what if still...
Anon needs you now more than ever. Take inventory of the confiscated supplies and round up the prisoners. This is an order.
Steady! You're gonna snap the mast in two! Are you trying to crash the ship onto those bones and have us hang on them to drive like human jerky?
Full left rudder! Full left rudder!
Damage to the starboard side. Another hit from a steam blast, and this ship's going to fall apart.
The skeleton formations are getting denser. It'll crash if we don't steer this just right. The erupting steam means we are close to the skeleton reef. They won't dare go in there.
But do we? The steam blast will punch through us like a hot knife through butter.
Better than the Inquisition, at least.
Ah!
Boiling steam shoots out of the gaps in the skeletons and tears the sail apart with terrible force. The gang is thrown into the air before crashing back onto the deck. The helm wheel spins wildly out of control. Gushing steam sends the ship crashing towards a massive skeleton more than a dozen meters tall. Juana says nothing, as if waiting for something.
Vidi! You're an engineer! Do something! This is my first time on a Golden Age ship. Never mind one that's been modified beyond recognition. I need time to figure out how it works.
Do we abandon ship? We might survive if we jump right now.
Are you loco? You'll be impaled by Sulfians in less than a minute.
Senora! We're done for.
No, we're not.
Juana looks towards the spinning helm wheel. If the ship were alive, its flesh would have been stripped away by a century of wear, leaving only a bare skeleton. Even its once magnificent embroidered sail was replaced with a patchwork of finch skin. Yet the helm stands proud at the deck's center. Juana holds the spinning helm wheel with her hands, as if steadying a dance partner, and begins to turn it with a frenzied rhythm. Her ring-black hair whips around like seaweed caught in raging tides.
It's been so long, old friend.
La Conquista brushes past the massive skeleton, banking at a dangerous angle. Only by hanging onto a rope for dear life did the passengers avoid being thrown overboard. For decades, this heavy old ship has had to drift slowly behind other salt ships. Now, though, it darts through the bones, riding upon the wind, as it once navigated treacherous reefs with Juana at the helm.
Senora? We're on course again. I'm alive. Do you have all my body parts? Am I hanging off a piece of bone? You said you only need me to put out a fire. Well, figuratively, right?
What's the situation, Thorns? How much of the lab is left? They stand in silence before the carnage. I managed to salvage the transmutation table. The other casing is gone, but the output's stable enough. As for the probes, this is the only one left. Pretty worn, but still usable. And we still have a little bit of alloy and originium scavenged from the antiques. I don't know if it's enough though. Anything I can help with? Are your fingers as thin as a probe needle? A long rumble interrupts the conversation as Elysium places a hand on his belly, looking embarrassed. At this rate, they might be soon. We don't have much food on the ship. Let's go find some. So then, this is going very well for the crew, isn't it? But yeah, the compass is fine, it never exploded. Thorns was just experimenting with other materials before he actually attempted to do anything with the original. Good on him actually, but yeah, that was a bit misleading there. For the other people, not for us, of course. But, well, I hope it wasn't for us, of course. But yeah. The Inquisition is showing its true colors. They are being very desperate. Well, outside of Anastasio, he's pursuing his own shit. But he also got bombed, essentially, by Thorns, so that is kind of funny. And Silver is pretty much just showing his true colors. He's very devoted to his town, it seems. And getting rid of Anastasio, who I think even Silver at this point figured out is a bit, yeah, this guy is not good to have around. So, good on him that he realized that that Anastasio is not a good person to have around, despite the guy being an Inquisitor as well. But we have one new enemy here to add before we continue on with our story, and that is the Bloody Chef. And it says, more butcher than cook. The fleet's chefs are more adept at dismembering carcasses than making the aftermath fit for human consumption. The smell of blood from the kitchen is enough to make even the most hardened sailors lose their appetite. Yummy! Anyway, we continue on to EPSD2, a flower that blooms rot. All living things decay. The more the devout seek atonement, the heavier their sins become. The sun sets. The crew shivers in the cold night of the salt flat. They had to practically turn the battered ship upside down to find an old pot and some even older dried fin. The pot begins to emit a sliver of warmth with the help of Lily's bionic sea dragon.
It's so cold. We've used up the wood we scrapped up. Leaf will have to do as a makeshift brazier for now. It was only designed for warming hands, though. This is the best I can manage in terms of cooking.
Having something warm to eat is more than enough.
We don't have much in the way of food or water. Enough to last us 2 or 3 days at most. We have sacks for gathering rainwater, but the weather on the salt flat is unreliable at the best of times.
Could we make use of the steam outside?
It's unsafe for drinking. It carries microorganisms from deep underground.
I could distill it.
Focus on fixing the compass first. Anyway, our priority now should be finding a way to last through the night. Night on the flat is no joke. We're low on food, and we've got injuries. Get too cold in your sleep, and you might never wake up.
Really? It could be over just like that? What if we run into Saltfin?
It'll be fine. I can use my expertise to send it a message, telling it that we're here and to prepare to die.
How can you be so absolutely awful at reading the mood?
You'll learn to live with it. He's the only one who could run his mouth in a situation like this. Look out!
La Conquista runs over a bone and gives a violent jolt, sending the pot flying with the food inside. Elysium leaps out to catch it, but screams as it burns his hands. Isidro steps forward and thrusts his sword through the handle of the pot, saving their dinner. The heat from the bionic sea dragon has dissipated.
The heating function just broke. Give me a second. I'll fix it.
Oh, it's so cold.
I can synthesize something that emits heat. It shouldn't take too long.
Save the materials for the compass. I'll worry about the heat.
I'm sorry. Can I have a little more blanket? I'm really freezing.
Stop worrying about whose is whose. Everybody huddle up. Isidro, stop skulking over there and get in here. Count your lucky stars you get to snuggle up to a once-in-a-lifetime hottie like me. Hey! Who threw a blanket over my head?
Juana blocks the opening with her body. Teach helps Pascuala wrap herself tight, with only her face speaking out, grimacing from the cold. Elysium and Vidi are struggling to move their stiff fingers to pick up the food and put it in their mouths. Isidro wants to go back to the transmutation table, but realizes that his frozen fingers are of no use when he picks up the probe. La Conquista sails aimlessly with the wind.
Where are we going?
No idea. Deeper in, I suppose.
So we don't even know where we're going. We don't know when those fin-shit creatures will catch up to us. And we don't even know if I'll freeze to death in my sleep, or if the ship will hit something again.
What's gotten into her? I thought she'd be the first to find the warmest spot to lie down. Maybe steal our blankets when we're asleep. She's just a child. She's asleep, with a bit of a fever. See if she has any useful herbs in her pocket.
If I'm gonna die here, I wanna sleep in my old home one last time. That big house, my bed, my blankets, my bathtub, my prettiest clothes all lined up, all the food I can eat, all the money I can spend. No more getting kicked out. Getting kicked hurts so bad. Running from one end of the street to the other. I just wanna go home. Wanna live a better life. Don't wanna die. Not here.
I'm sorry, Vidi. I didn't think it'd be so dangerous. I really shouldn't have brought you here. Don't worry about it. I came to help. If you make it back to Rhode Island in one piece, I'll give you a month's worth of pay, I promise. No need for that. Go to sleep. We can talk in the morning. Okay. Thorns, what are you up to?
Fixing the compass, otherwise we'll never make it out of this skeletal reef. The way the ship's shaking, I need to build an arts field of sufficient complexity to stabilize the corazonics. Otherwise the entire compass could fall apart the moment I try to disassemble it. And even if such a field is possible, I need a steady hand to carry out the rematerialization process properly. The slightest trembling when catching the liquid originium circuit into the corazonics could ruin the whole material. Plus, when tomorrow comes, I'm not sure if we could...
It's no surprise he's tired. He's been learning the helm on the fly all day. He's never done anything like this before, has he?
No. His training was in communications.
Get closer. The temperature's still dropping. It'll be warmer if we huddle up. Perlita, do you want to...
Senora.
Yes?
Papa said you used to sail on the seas. Is it really blue? Papa, will you take me to see it? When I grow up, I want to sail the sea.
Perlita, you...
Juana had told that story while holding young Teach in her arms, so very long ago. She places a hand on Teach's forehead. There are wrinkles on it now.
Teach has a fever too, Isidra. Do you have any herbs left?
Let me see. Here. In the quiet cabin, the sound of rustling punctuates the low breathing of the sleeping. Isidra places both pot and rack on top of the repaired bionic sea dragon and prepares to boil the herbs. Juana gazes at the bare bones interior of the cabin with soft eyes, seemingly recalling sweet memories. She puts the herbs into the pot. They make a soft splashing sound, rocking along with the ship.
Have you ever seen the sea, Isidro? Water's bluer than the sky, waves foaming white, lightning striking from the clouds that seem like they could cut you in two. Will you sail out to sea with us, Isidro? You'd make a good captain.
Juana's eyes glow in the darkness. Cold starlight shines in through the ship's frame. He opens his mouth to answer, but closes it again without a sound. There is a light in the horizon, in the direction of where they came from. It is their pursuers.
Canvas, finhide, wood, relics of the Golden Age. But virtually no food or water. You were desperate. It always takes such dire straits for man to understand the value of order. Maybe. Subservience to order has brought you food, water, and shelter. Do not forget this. My mates understand parley. They'll keep to the agreement. Very good. You will make a fine privateer. One who answers to me. Log the confiscated supplies, record the names of the bandits, then bring them to the abandoned houses on the edge of the town. Take care not to draw the townsfolk's attention.
Yes, sir.
And I want those ships of theirs that traverse the salt flood to be brought back without a scratch. They are the town's only hope.
Understood, Senor Silver.
Anything else?
We tried looking for the yellow seal, but found only a fragment of his clothing. I left it on your desk.
Very well. I will take it from here. Now go. I wish to be alone for a while. Anastasio, Anastasio. I thought you would save us all. But you never cared for anything other than yourself, did you?
The piece of cloth leaves suits on the desk that he had kept so pristine. Silver picks it up with 2 fingers and stares at it. Finally, he throws it into the fireplace and starts wiping the desk clean. The same way he climbs the clock tower every day, gazing upon this town that has survived calamity both natural and man-made.
You don't care about this country, this town, or these people.
That's why you'll never understand. From the most prosperous harbor to the poorest fishing village, every settlement in Iberia that survived the sea went on to collapse in the chaos that followed. Aran was no exception. I am the one who devoted half my life to this place, who saved it from the tragedy of cannibalism and the terrors of tyranny. And I am the one who will bring it salt ships that walk the land, who will liberate it from this barren soil. All you can see, Anastasio, is your stubborn, archaic faith. You will never belong to Aran. You will never interfere with Aran again. My Aran. Lacks trim and wind power through a complex transmission system. So they were never meant to be land ships at all. A wind-powered walker. Genius. A shame that Ager woman had such talent. A handful of new ships, plus the ones confiscated from the pirates, will be enough to carry the entire population of Aran. It's been decades. Finally, we will be free of the salt flat that feeds no one. Where did that sudden wind come from? What is going on? Is this house really that drafty? I couldn't even light a fire. A few small tiny sparks fly out from the end of the match, only to be extinguished in an instant. A tiny flame sways in the wind, the flickering light illuminating the darkness. His eyes begin to adjust and take in his surroundings. He sees a face, skin pale as salt, punctuated by red-brown bloodstains, red hair hanging feebly on the head like entrails. The face of a dead man. You... No one could have survived that explosion. How did you do it? What are you? On our first meeting, I was wounded, walking the flat on foot to reach Aran. You asked if I needed help. At the time, you thirsted for nothing more than to aid me. Now, when you halted the clerics coming to my aid, when you gleefully imagined my death, what was it you sought? You were also corrupted by desire, just like the others, no? Not a word comes out of Silver. He grabs at the air as he collapses, but only manages to pull out the drawer. Flower petals pour out, covering him in them. Dried flowers, rotted flowers, flowers that had turned to dust. Flowers from a few years ago, from a decade ago, from decades ago. The flowers that the townsfolk had offered their cosificador in gratitude over the years, all poured down upon him. Flowers? Flashback. He hears the sound of a knife being honed before it comes to a sudden stop. There is a commotion outside. His mother screams, screeching and beseeching, claiming that she was owning it to cut vegetables. He had not seen vegetables in the house for a long time. You are safe, child. Manus has come over your mother, but we have her under control. By the lantern. What is it that he's eating? No! He screams hysterically like his mother, waving his hands wildly, trying to cover his own face. Fearing that the clerics would smell the flesh, see the scraps by his mouth. He had been determined to end his sinful existence by death. Why, then, as he comes face to face with this kindly man of the cloth, would he strive to hide his crime?
I have sinned. Please, let me die.
No, child. I will not judge you for trying to survive. You must live and atone for your sins. Sinners are myriad. We have walked the land, helping those who could not atone themselves, and cleansing them of their sins. This you can also do. Only by this will you atone for your own sins. Until one day the purest flower will bloom at your touch. So yeah, that was creepy. Yeah. Yikes. That this game actually manages to somehow turn into a horror game for a brief moment, an actual horror game. I'll give them that. That was very effective. What they were doing there with the matches and everything. Oh god. That was creepy. That guy's just creepy. That's god. A Seaborn is friendlier than this guy. But yeah, anyhow, that is that, and our crew is also going through the motions, it seems, because of, well, they're freezing, and oh god, that scene with Pasquala felt very, very sad for her. Good god. That little blurb of her past poking through as her fever is hitting her. Oof. That was very heartfelt. But yeah, also, why was that not a CG? That would have been an amazing CG to watch, even though it would be also sad to see them all freeze there in the little space, but still, come on. Everybody under a blanket, just their heads poking out. That would have been absolutely amazing. Everybody a little burrito. But yeah, anyway, we continue on to stage number 7. My compass. It was only when he truly reached out that he realized grasping was not an instinct. What are you up to this late at night? I could see your torch from a mile away.
Night watch.
You forget we're in a town? No salt winds barging into the camp at night, and the roof above your head isn't getting blown away by a salt storm.
I know, just not used to it. Room's too hot, the beds don't shake. I can't sleep. Besides, something's not right here. That Calcificador Silver brought us here, but where is he?
Probably just thinks he's too good for us. The townsfolk are still on their guard against us. That's why they brought us here at night and hid us in these abandoned shacks.
Aren't we people too? How are we different?
Give me the torch. If you're that worried, I'll keep watch. You get some sleep. You'll need to get used to being civilized. I see you're still eating the jerky from your ships. Senor Javier? Yes, jerky. This kitchen hasn't seen use in quite a while, but Silver had it specifically repaired. The utensils should be readily available. I hear that you've always wanted to be a cook, so why do you not cook when you finally have a proper kitchen? I just can't. Not today. Why ever not? Is this still not enough? It's enough, I assure you. Never seen so many kitchen tools my whole life. Why then? I insist on knowing, Senor Javier. When you cook, it's not the knife in your hand you're thinking about, but the people who'll be eating it. How can I cook when they aren't here?
All your crewmates are here. If you mean the ones who obstinately continue to resist, neither of us need to regret their poor choices. You have obtained so many things, precious things. A kitchen, food.
Silver gave us the stuff, not you. Why are you the one preaching at me?
Silver is dead.
You killed him, didn't you?
I did.
What about us? You gonna kill us too?
No. You are to mock the very path I did. The path of atonement. Got any sleep? I wish. I could leave with the heat and the bed not shaking, but my room doesn't even get a breeze. Felt like my face was gonna turn to stone.
Count your blessings. Look at the older mates. The wind's blown, their faces right crooked. It's enough to send people running off screaming. You're young, so you still got the chance to grow up into a real beauty.
I don't see any smoke from the kitchen. Is Javier still not cooking?
I'll talk to him.
Our clerics have searched every corner of your den. There was no compass.
Guess it got burned to ash.
The key figures in this affair: the girl who stole the compass, the grave-robbing cannibal, and your former leader. All have entered the depths of the salt flats with their ill-gotten gains.
You want us to go after them?
You know better than I how to navigate the flat, and you know the fugitives well. How much you paying? Excuse me? We work, you pay. Isn't it supposed to be how things work around here?
The flat's got 1,000 ways to kill you. Massive salt fins, dozens of meters long, could tear you apart just by shaking their heads. And Skeleton Reef is the worst of it. The steam blast there could punch a hole right through you. If we're risking our necks, we need a proper bounty. Quiet, you fools. I'm sorry, we don't need...
What don't we need? We've only been here a single night, so how are we supposed to put food on the table without work?
Calm down, that's not what he meant. You see, Senor Aloasil...
The caravans under inspection were carrying both coin and trade goods. I have no use for such worldly possessions.
Ha! I knew they were hiding the good stuff from us! Wait, it's not what you think. You heard him, mates. Do the work, get the loot. Now quit yapping and start moving.
Anastasio sees those before him as puppets of desire. Regardless of their intentions, he believes their desires will inevitably lead them down the path of evil. Much like the pits of hell, the greed of man is bottomless.
Are you an idiot? What do you think happened to Silver?
Church conspiracies are above my pay grade. Best I can do is play the fool.
There's no conspiracy, Russ. Silver is dead. Anastasio killed him. He's no schemer, but a complete lunatic. And now there's no one to keep him in check. You got a better idea? You know how the others see you. Your word as a leader isn't even worth a hot meal. Not that you've even cooking anymore. I can only defend you for so long, Javier. Fine. Let's board those ships.
It's so bright. It hurts everywhere.
You awake? You had a bit of a fever last night, but it's gone down. Have some water. Pascuala sits up and takes the bottle Teach offers her.
The bionic sea dragon is hard at work across the deck, carrying a wooden plank while flapping its wings. Juana stands at a bow, gazing into the distance. Behind her, Elysium twists his whole body as he strains to turn the heavy helm wheel, like some strange exercise routine. The high sun shines bright. It hurts a little bit.
This is our last bit of water. 1 pouch per person. Make it last.
Is there anything I can do?
Glad to see you up and about again, Chica. Repair the hull, reinforce the mast, process the food. There's plenty. Leaves helping out with the repairs. Let her rest a little longer.
No. I lived through whatever that was yesterday. We didn't hit any skeletons all night, or get run over by a saltfin. Now I even have water to drink. So I'm gonna do my part to get out of this alive.
Give me your hand. I'll help you up. Up. Here, your water. And your portion of jerky. We talked about it and thought it best if you focus on fixing the compass. We can worry about everything else. As long as we have that, we'll find our way. As for the rest, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
How much time do we have?
According to Senora Juana, they'll catch up to us by tomorrow morning at the latest.
That soon? That's not nearly enough time to fix the compass.
Just do your best. If you can't get it done, she said she'll risk the skeletal reef, compass or not. And this is for you.
What is it?
A modified communicator. It'll let us talk in even the most extreme environments.
Okay.
Pinch it! I see sails!
Sails! Southwest!
You stay here. I'll go help.
I can see their sails. Increase speed, catch up to them. I wouldn't recommend that.
And why not?
Based on their current heading, if we did, we'd only force them into the skeletal reef.
What of it?
That's no place for mere mortals. Sure, maybe they'll die in there, but I can't get in either.
Irrelevant.
Please reconsider, Senora Olacil. The compass will probably get destroyed too.
That is not your concern.
I've sailed the salt flood for decades. I know how to stop a salt ship. At least let me try. It'll prevent a lot of needless deaths.
Do not squander this chance, Senor Javier.
You have very few left. Javier! Javier!
What are you thinking? It's been years since we pulled off something like that. That alone against Juana.
I know it won't be enough to stop her, but forcing them to change heading is still better than herding them into skeletal reef.
And if you fail, whatever's left of your authority will be gone. You'll lose control of the fleet.
Neither will growling to Anastasio help me keep it. Just listen to me one last time. Maintain a steady speed with the ship and have another go around to cut them off from the east.
Are they down a ship? Did it hit a saltfin or something? No one taught by me would make a mistake like that, on flat land no less. Eyes sharp! Every last one of those salt ships is faster than this antique! They could easily cut us off before we make it into the skeletal reef. What happens if they do? We're at a disadvantage in both numbers and equipment. We wouldn't stand a chance. Then we won't let them. The ship tailing us is going slow and not even raising its flag. They want us to let our guard down, so another one can go around in front of us. Did you really think I would hesitate to sail into the skeletal reef at this point, Javier? Full sails ahead! Set course for the skeletal reef! Maximum speed!
They're accelerating, Senora Olacil.
This is far from the scenario you envisioned, Senor Javier.
Raise the flag. Hail the other ship. Tell them to go full sail.
And what of us? I will take the helm.
Senora? Why are you returning? This is inviting them to open fire.
If they do, they'll have to slow down to find an angle for their cannons. That's our chance to lose them.
Gunners at the ready! Sailors heave heavy balls made from salt and fin dung into the cannons. Fire! Once again, Juana dances with her helm. The rudder carves through the salt flat as if slicing its flesh, while the massive ship tilts and glides across the salt desert at an impossible angle. Salt cannonballs whistle past, landing only meters from La Conquista and spraying salt everywhere. The sails push the ancient ship towards the heart of the flat, where few have tread. A rumble stirs within the salt cloud. Pasquala peers through her blurry spyglass, straining to identify its source, only for a wind-filled sail to suddenly consume her view. It is the salt ship that has disappeared from the pursuing squadron. Pasquala puts down her spyglass with a jolt as the salt ship, trailing a billowing cloud of salt dust, barrels straight toward them.
It's gonna hit us! Erase maneuvers, erase maneuvers!
No, that's what they want, for us to slow down or turn. The main sails of that ship are at the bow. It's not designed for ramming. Let them try. If they do, they'll never catch us again. Forward!
The sound of canvas straining in the wind fills everyone's ears as La Conquista charges on, evading the salt ship's interception. For the first time in decades, it rides proudly at the head of the fleet again. You're out of your mind, Juana.
You should have known that the moment you mutinied. Catch them.
Javier! Fine. I'll take command. Full sail ahead! Javier stops giving orders. He knows no one will listen anymore. He passes through the crowd and climbs the ship's bow. He sees the towering skeletons just ahead of La Conquista. The skeletal reef, a labyrinth of bones, the pulsing heart of the salt flat, a realm of death where no mortal dares tread. Yet La Conquista sails towards its valleys, dauntlessly, recklessly. Despite the constant bumps and jolts, Isidra's eyes remain fixed on the Corazonics floating at the center of the transmutation table. Layers of Ars energy fields have separated it. The insides glow with a metallic gleam. Even the slightest motion is reflected upon its surface through the needle of the probe. The rusted alloy has been successfully isolated. The newly added alloy has been successfully integrated. Now for the last step. To etch a new originium circuit inside the Corazonics. I can't afford to make a single mistake. There is no time to test the effects of the circuit. We have only one chance. Steady. Steady. Another jolt sends the dismantled compass components on the table spilling onto the ground. With one hand holding the probe, Isidro draws his sword with the other and stabs the cabin wall with it to steady himself. El Dominio del Mar. If the pirates can fight in the wind and waves with this technique, then I can use it to steady myself amidst the turbulence. With each tilt of the ship, Isidro counters with a thrust of his sword. Soon the cabin is in chaos. A pot covers one of his feet, while a piece of canvas wraps around his leg. He pays no heed to them. The only thing he sees is the trail of liquid originium drawn by the needle of his probe. Almost there. Sweat runs down his cheeks and into his mouth. He feels control slipping from the hand holding the probe as his strained muscles verge on spasming. I did it! I did it! Now all that's left is to insert the shaped Corazonics back into the shell of the compass. Ah! Isidro forces his eyelids open through the blood and salt, and sees the arts field beginning to go out of control under some kind of powerful arts interference. His probe lies on the other side of the cabin, the needle broken into several pieces. The components of the compass are nowhere to be seen, except for the outer shell. Under the pressure of the overloaded arts field, the newly formed Corazonix begins to tremble violently. Thorns! Thorns!
What did that finished Anastasia just do?
An Inquisition hand cannon. He fired it into the cabin. Stay away from the alchemical equipment. It's out of control because of the interference from the head cannon's arts energy. What are you doing here, Senora Juana? Who has a helm? Don't worry, it's in good hands.
Teach! Where's Teach?
She's over here. She's got a piece of broken wood stuck in her leg.
Damn it! Damn it! I can't stop the bleeding!
Thorns! Thorns! Say something! Isidro opens his mouth, but his tongue does not obey. He forces himself up to sit. There is no time to think about how many ribs he broke. On the transmutation table, the Corazonix starts to bubble as if it's boiling. One moment of hesitation, and the last Corazonix of Iberia, their only hope for survival, will turn to dust. He must retrieve it. Isidro looks around desperately, but sees none of the compass's components, not even a working tool. No. Isidro stumbles to his feet. He cannot feel his left arm, but he can still move his right arm. He runs towards the transmutation table. The resistance from the arts field is much stronger than expected. It feels like putting his hand into boiling magma. His glove offers no protection against the rampaging arts energy. Isidro quivers as the energy corrodes his arm. What are you doing, Thorns? This is my Corazonix. My compass! The Corazonix dances in his palm, as though it has gained life. It flows through every gash and hole the arts energy left upon his arm. Isidro has gazed upon this substance so many times, seeking a connection with it. But now, in this very moment, he understands that it has become one with his flesh. Isidro! All hands on deck. I'll take the helm. Pasquale and Vidi, take care of Teach. The Inquisition ship is catching up. Wake up, Isidro. Stand up. But what happened to your arm? They're catching up again. Elysium, Isidro, can you still swing a sword? Mine broke, but I can pummel them with my flag. But who would use a flag as a weapon on the battlefield? Isidro grabs his right arm. The searing pain has not yet subsided. My left hand is all I need. Good.
Look out! They're loading!
The wind carries the cries from the salt ship behind them. Fire!
We're still not fast enough.
Can we make it into the skeletal reef before they catch up?
Even if we can't, I have no intention of stopping.
But the ship's badly damaged. I only managed to repair part of it. That hit we just took went through half the hold. And took all of Isidro's alchemy equipment out with it. Without the compass, how are we supposed to get out of the skeletal reef, even if we make it in?
Isidro can feel the Corazonix pulsating beneath his glove. He may have lost an arm, but all is not lost. There will be a way. Isidro casts his eyes towards the skeletal reef. The bones littering the ground grow larger with every passing moment. 1 kilometer. Turning is no longer an option for La Conquista. Juana grabs the helm wheel with such strength that the wood creaks under the pressure. She leans forward, eyes fixed dead ahead on the terrifying skeletal reef as though it is her prey. 500 meters. A sharp grain of salt brushes past her cheek, leaving a mark. Pasquala squints into the wind and salt, but can only barely see the massive sails approaching from behind. 100 meters. Microorganisms have dyed the bleached bones crimson. This land has never seen such vivid colors, even before the sea came. 50 meters. Steam gushes through the holes in the bones, powerful and dense. At their end is a crimson mist the color of blood, spraying into the wind. 10 meters. All breaths are held. La Conquista roars into the valley. Dozens of steam pillars blast out from the skeletons lining the sides of the canyon, filling the space that it occupied mere moments ago. They tear through sails like paper. The salt ship following in hot pursuit, a monstrosity dozens of meters in length, is torn to pieces as though a toy. The mast dragged down by tethered sails lies across the gorge before the steam breaks it two in half, sending the pieces plunging into the salt. Scraps of wood and bone fly into the air, forming a sharp, deadly rain.
Their ship was destroyed by the steam.
Holy Finchit, I'm alive! I'm actually alive!
It's too early to celebrate. Salt dust is blown away by the steam, revealing yet another salt ship trampling the carcass of its brethren beneath its heel as it charges towards them. The flag of the Inquisition flies high upon its mast, yet it is Anastasio standing beneath it whose presence commands more attention.
They've got guts, I'll give them that. Let us be their burial ground then.
Hooks! Dozens of hooks fly towards La Conquista. Most fall harmlessly into the salt, but a few find the gaps upon her hull. La Conquista is heavier than us. Don't try to pull it in. Let it drag us towards it. Board once we're close enough, and take that ship! Taut ropes creak as both ships tremble. The sailors draw their weapons, sizing up the distance between the ships. Suddenly, a spinning helm wheel flies out from the stern of La Conquista, snapping the ropes linking the two ships. The sharp-eyed sailors recognize it immediately.
It's Koala!
At that terrified cry, a figure in black leaps from La Conquista and lands on the salt ship.
Have you already forgotten everything I taught you? You couldn't hook up bloody saltfin the way you're tossing those.
She wants to take our helm wheel! Stop her!
You fight like a starving saltfin. No, worse. Hold that cutlass properly. What are you trying to do? Cut a steak?
Don't kill Wada! All we need is the compass! Open your damn eyes, Javier!
She's here to heal us. It's us or her. We gotta kill her for the reward.
I was right all along, Javier. You're just her little pet.
Well, I'm not. I want to live. I want to live good. If you don't want that bounty, I'll take it.
Juana swings her helm wheel into a charging pirate, who falls to the ground in a heap, but the rest keep coming with even greater fury. Javier is left in the back. He grips his weapon tight, but does not move his feet. It takes a while before he cries out. I said, don't kill Juana! All we need is a compass!
But I'm going to kill you, Javier.
Quit giving orders, Javier. Who do you think you are? Kill Juana! Her head will make us rich!
Just as no one can shake their own shadow, Isidro turns around to see Anastasio standing behind him.
There you are.
Form up, my brothers. Attack! Sir! Elysium, protect the hand with VD. Don't let them take control.
Leaf, switch to attack mode.
How dare you kick away the waterproof boots I gave to Thorns? Do you think a communication specialist couldn't fight? Stay away from me with that stinging mop of yours! It's a flag, you scuttlehead! I wash it every week, or at least try to! You have very nearly killed me twice now, Isidro. A feat none before have accomplished. Why then do you so earnestly seek my death? What is this desire you have failed to realize because of me? This desire that is so much stronger than anyone else's. I don't have any desires. Impossible. All mortals are driven by desire. What about you? Myself first and foremost. If you're driven by desire too, then you have no right to kill people in the name of suppressing it, even if you're with the Inquisition. The Inquisition? No. Once I wished for nothing more than that priest from the Inquisition to kill me and end my sinful life. But alas, he denied his own right to judge me, to execute me, and in so doing denied my right to die. You still have that right, Isidro, the right to an easy end. I have no interest in dying. Maybe so, but you have been tainted by the strongest of all desires, no? Then you have already lost your free will. You are compelled to sin. You simply cannot stop yourself. Why do you hide your broken right arm with that glove? Those controlled by desire always refuse to admit that their obsession will lead them to ruin. You cannot turn back. No one like you can, so I will kill you to stop your sins. But before that, you shall first face your desire, acknowledge it. Only by doing so can you die sober and fighting. Anastasio's sword slashes through the air with a piercing shrill, targeting Isidro's right hand. Isidro twists his body at a nearly impossible angle to evade, but the blade's tip still rips through his glove. Corazonic seeps out of the tear in his glove, turning into delicate ribbons that drift towards every corner of the valley. What's going on? So that is where you have hidden the compass. I have watched over that anathema for so many years, yet not once have I seen it respond so eagerly to one's desires. Such powerful desire, Isidro, yet you do not even know it. If you knew the first thing about alchemy, you'd know it doesn't respond to desire. Not mine or anyone else's. Under the manipulation of an alchemist, Corazonix leaves the compass and enters the natural cycle before returning to the compass. Then the alchemist deciphers the information it brings back. This is its basic principle. It has nothing to do with anything as subjective as desire. Isidro has read too many alchemical tomes and listened to too many of Aulus's lessons. He could recite those principles backward and forward. But he cannot help but ask himself, is that really everything there is to the compass, to Corazonix? Why did the Corazonix on his arm start drifting without any input from him? Does he not want to know what it is responding to? Does he not want to know what he wants? The distraction is enough for Anastasio's sword to pierce his left shoulder. Where is your desire, Isidro? That most powerful desire that compels you to kill me. Will you die as the puppet of that desire without even knowing what it is? Found her! She's got someone on her back! Get her! Go!
Huh? Can't rod, so heavy.
Put me down. Go on without me. Pasquala? Pasquala! You can't run like this. They'll get us both. Drop me and run.
No,
What?
I'm not letting go. You gave me your blanket, your water, and you put me to bed. I'm not letting go.
You... We just hit something. The ship's drifting. I can't keep it on course.
Out of the way. Let me handle it.
How?
Just in the liquid nitrogen cannon. But I may not get the output exactly right, so keep your hand on the wheel.
You got it. Bone swords rattle. Saltwind hide armor clashes. A roaring sailor walks up to Juana. The other sailors pull their armor off and form a circle of flesh and blood. Inside the circle is Juana, and the sailor who issued the challenge. Juana is taken aback for an instant, then laughs as she understands.
So you remember the tradition?
How could we forget? You taught us how to challenge the leader when we were kids. But now your life is worth big money, enough to set me up for life. Come at me then! Juana swings the helm wheel with a whoosh and slams it into the man's bare chest with a sickeningly dull thud. His chest collapses and he falls onto the deck without so much as a gurgle and wheeze. But the others step over his blood, crying in fury as they rush towards Juana with weapons in hand. Die! Ha! Ah! Yet another sailor charges forward, but hesitates for an instant when his eyes meet Juana's. His axe slows for a split second, just enough time for Juana's helm wheel to connect first. The last thing he sees is the pale salts filling his eyes, even as the lower half of his body clings to the deck.
This is no place to be getting cold feet. A moment of hesitation is the difference between life and death. Who's next?
Another sailor steps up through the pool of blood, cutlass in hand. She seems a little thinner and frailer than the others.
Oh, if it isn't little Lomi. Aye, boss, it's me. What do you plan to do with the reward money? I got a daughter. It's all hers. Good. Then come and claim what is hers.
The frail sailor gulps and swings her cutlass at Juana, who lands a blow first with a backhand swing. One of her arms hits the ground, unleashing a spray of blood. Her other arm, however, continues clenching her cutlass.
Come, raise your weapon. We're not done yet.
Once again, she musters the courage to charge at Juana, but a heavy helm wheel finds her forehead faster. Suddenly, the frail sailor is pushed aside. Stop. I'll do it.
Thought you didn't want us to kill her.
No, I'm your leader. At this point, what you want is what I want. And as your leader, I'm supposed to protect you, not watch you walk to your deaths one by one. Javier draws his weapon and wades into the blood. Your move, Juana.
You can put me down here. I'm feeling better. I can fight.
These chupamedias, they're like salt fiends could smell blood. Can't shake them.
You finally stopped. How many times have you taken what doesn't belong to you, you dirty little thief? You've got nerve to still be talking here. Catch the thief and the bandit. Bring them back to the Inquisition.
Thief? What doesn't belong to me?
Pasquala picks up a fallen cutlass and charges at the warrior priests before her, red with fury.
That's fucking fin shit! I could have lived a decent life until you people came after me and threw me out! How dare you assume I've become immoral just because my family has fallen on hard times?
What's she going on about? She's gone mad! Kill her!
All I wanted today was to go back home and get what was mine as a kid. I wasn't stealing. My abuela made a bracelet for me. What's wrong with taking what is mine? What do you think you are? Branding me our teeth? No matter what I did, no matter what I said, I even begged you to let me find a job in town and live a decent life. But you people called me a thief and kicked me out. Well, now I'm a thief. Are you happy now? Are you happy? Inquisition finch it. You don't get to tell me what belongs to me or not.
We're flying!
Objectively speaking, the ship did in fact go airborne for a few seconds. I may have overtuned the LN cannon a tad, but don't worry. I also have a smaller Watten cannon to help slow it down.
We're going too fast. I can't avoid the bone up ahead. Do something with that cannon of yours.
I don't know if I can knock away a bone as big as that.
Brace for impact.
It's not fair. I just fixed the ship.
There's someone here. Didn't we just get rid of you? Alright, I'll deal with them. Vidi, you fix up the ship. Again. Javi's blade meets the helm wheel with a dual clang that echoes through the valley. He feels his arms going numb. Hesitantly, he strings a few words together in the gaps between attacks. Juana, what do you think you're doing?
Killing traitors.
No, Juana! If all you wanted was to kill us, you could have done so easily. Why hold to the tradition? You're trying to tell us to affirm our decision by facing you with courage? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Juana.
Javi, if you've realized that, why are you still holding back?
Isidra's left arm is shaking with pain. His sword has already left his hand. Under Anastasia's incessant interrogation, he finds himself overcome by an even sharper pain. The dispersed Corazonics once again converges upon him, having drifted amidst the salt and steam. You ask me what I want. I want Juana to sail upon the seas that she's longed for all these years. I want Pasquale to go to bed with a full stomach, not wake up in the middle of the night from hunger. I want Vidi to go back safely to her research, and for Elysium to make it on time to that concert he's been looking forward to. Yet all I see is how you people tear each other apart as you hasten to your own demise. What precisely did this tragedy begin with? Juana, she who has forgotten the pain of the profound silence. She who is determined to ride to her doom, seeking thrills that live on only in her memory. It was her desire that dragged Pasquale into the abyss. The girl who wanted nothing more than food on the table was made to steal the Inquisition's forbidden relic, blinded by greed and promises of riches. And then the rest of your fellows, when you say you wish their lives to return to normalcy, have you given any thought as to why they fell to abnormality? It was because of you, Isidro. Juana's desire infected you, and you in turn have infected more innocents. I know. People are affected by one another. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone I met at Aron kept their head down and their windows shut. No one spoke a word to each other unless it was absolutely necessary. Maybe it's the teachings of the Inquisition, or maybe the trauma of the Great Calamity that's never faded from their hearts. I couldn't say. What I can say, though, is that no one should have to live like that. Anastasia pulls his sword out of Isidra's shoulder. Carrying the red glow of the steam, the Corazonix returns to its place inside Isidra's glove and once again flows upon his arm. For an instant, he can feel the gushing heat of the entire skeletal reef converged upon his right arm. Go on, Isidro. If you have finally decided to expose your true nature, then I shall hear your confession. Because of my mentor for a very long time, I thought the ultimate end of human interaction was consumption and assimilation, just like the Seaborn. I thought I would be consumed by others just as I consumed them, that there would always be people compelled by someone else's desires, held hostage by someone else's decisions, ultimately losing sight of their own selves. In the years before I joined Rhode Island, I did my utmost to avoid something like that happening, like what happened to the people of Aron. But now I understand that the self I had tried so hard to protect was empty. There was nothing there. Even after I earned some money, I lived exactly as I had as a vagabond. I wore the same clothes, ate the same food, stayed in the same places, did the same things. I didn't know what I wanted. Maybe I didn't want anything. Is it not happiness to live as an empty canvas? Is that not true freedom? Unlike your current self, the one forced to drag but more innocent souls into the abyss, as you have done. Juana gave me a chance to leave. I chose to stay. Neither of us regrets our decisions. So, if I indeed dragged Elysium and Vidi into this, then I should give them a chance to leave or stay. If you want to kill them, then I'll just have to kill you first. Isidro senses the once chaotic movement of the Corazonics becoming rhythmic. With each pulse on his arm, steam bursts from the nearby bones. It dawns on him that the Corazonics salvaged from the transmutation table is now fulfilling its intended function while attached to him. He wants to lead his friends out of this deadly skeletal reef, so it is guiding him by indicating the direction of the searing steam flowing through the bones. Isidro tears his glove off. Flowing Corazonics has filled every gash and hole that the art's energy had left upon his flesh. It is now as one with him. He picks up his sword with his right arm and points it at Anastasia's face. Alright then, that was a lot of things in one fell swoop. From Thorns just casually sticking his hand into what could be considered a radioactive field. Luckily, he got quirks. But yeah, so that's how the Silver Arm comes to be. He pretty much became one with the Corazonics. That's pretty much it. And yeah, also Pasquala just keeps tugging at your heartstrings, at least on mine. I think everybody agrees that this little Spanish gremlin is well, wholesome, even though thief, but still wholesome. My god, that scene with her unleashing on onto those idiots, plus her bonding with Teach is absolutely heart-wrenching. That was great. That was such a good little moment of her delivering those lines and all of that stuff. That was so good. But yeah, anyway, we have the next stage in front of us, but before we do so, we have one more enemy to add, and that is the cacophonous boatswain. Maybe it is the loud winds of the salt flat, or maybe the sailors are acting floppy. The boatswain constantly suspects that someone is not listening to his commands, thus he has grabbed a cacophonous saltfin to catch the sailors' attention. That's pretty much like walking into a group of ADHD people and having a set of keys and jingling them. Sorry. Anyway, stage number 8. I come, I conquer, I define. I want to witness it with my own eyes, conquer it with my own hands, and define it on my own terms. Oh yeah, and before we head in, this is gonna be the stage where we go from cutscene into boss battle into cutscene, and then we continue. Whoa! I really did it! I actually took them out! Need any help, Vidi?
No, I'm done here too. As long as you don't crash the ship again.
Sure thing. I don't think I can ever ride a roller coaster again.
Wait, Elysium? Where did all that blood come from? Did those bone fragments hit you?
Blood? It's fine. Happy to take one for a friend. If Thorns knows what he wants, then what can I do but support him?
Well, at least let me wrap you up a little. And what exactly does Thorns want? Again? Did he say?
He can tell you himself when the time's right. Ah, Isidro. So you wish to atone for your sins. Resign the impact you've had on the innocent to send them merrily back to their own lives. Is this an expression of your resolve? A reflection of your conscience? When they realize the end is near, many sinners turn to sobbing appeals for the friends whom they have implicated. Alas, that does not mean they have truly repented. How does one who knows not of their own desire demonstrate the ability to suppress such desire and to atone for the sins thereof? No, it's you who need to suppress your own desire. You who needs to demonstrate the ability. Naturally, I have always said the desire cannot truly be killed. Even now, the desire to feed upon the lives of others lives on within me, and I must suppress it. I will cut off my flesh with my own hand and dispose of it. I will demonstrate that I can suppress my thirst for it, if only briefly. Isidro can see the grotesque scars under Anastasio's collar, marks of flesh that has grown back after being cut away. You said desire grows endlessly, dragging more and more people into the abyss. How many have you judged and killed with that pretext? Why do you think that you and you alone can suppress your own desires? Because death is liberation. Before being corrupted by desire, you had lived an honest life, performed honest deeds. As such, you have the right to be liberated from that corruption. By death. But my life was a mistake from the beginning. My very existence a sin. Were I to die, my pathetic existence would have held no meaning other than sacrilege. Therefore I must atone. I must atone for as long as I can, until I am consumed by desire. Anastasio pressed the nails on his left hand against his own chest, until they pierced the skin. Only pain can calm him down now. You mentioned the meaning of your existence. Are you really unworthy to die, Anastasio, or do you just want to live too much? You keep talking about your desire to feed on others, but isn't your most fundamental desire to keep on living? Be it self-harm or the judgment of others, aren't you just trying to make sure that your so-called sinful self can live on with peace of mind? Anastasio's assault had slowed while listening to Isidro's confession. Now, it intensifies again. Each time Isidro parries an attack, strands of Corazonics float up from his arm from the impact. If you shall not confess, you shall die. Look out!
Chipacamedias, cojones, finch it! Don't you have an Iberia to save instead of coming after us? All for a damn compass nobody cares about. All I ever wanted was enough money so I wouldn't have to do this stuff. You think I like living like this? I hate it as much as you do. Why do you have to come after me? You have no right to judge me. None!
Pasquala! Pasquala! Stop! They're not fighting back anymore! Stop! We need to move.
Oh, Teach. No, Teach, hang in there. If you pass out now, I'm leaving out the next time I buy a round of Solfigarum for everyone.
No. You're starting to talk like Elysium.
Really? Was it funny? Do you feel any better?
Let's find a place to hide.
Teach! Teach!
Pasquala frantically digs through her pockets. She has many pockets. Very little in them belongs to her. Most was stolen. Finally, she finds a few herbs. She chews them into small pieces, then puts them into Teach's mouth with a trembling hand. The last thing Teach did before she passed out was protect Pasquala's head with her arms. Pasquala presses her cheeks against Teach's arm, trying to feel her body temperature. She has lost so many things, but right now, this warmth belongs to her. This is the last time we'll cross blades, Juana. Only one of us is leaving here alive. I'm their leader. If you're angry at their betrayal, take it out on me. And then what? If I die, let my crewmates go. I swear on my life that they won't have a new leader, that they'll live their new lives however they want. Javier, you... Juana responds with an even more voracious flurry. The helm wheel brushes across Javier's back. He grits his teeth and swings his blade. It finds Juana's forearm, cutting almost to the bone. And if I kill you, I'll take your head and earn the bounty. I'll share the money with everyone, so they all live better lives! Ha! A violent jolt sends Javier stumbling backwards. Juana leaps, and the helm wheel falls upon him, sending blood and salt flying. Javier swings his fists wildly at Juana, his weapon broken. Javier struggles to lift the heavy wheel of himself, but a punch from Juana sends him back into the pool of blood. His breathing is thick and heavy. He tries to lift himself up again, only to once again meet Juana's fist. His vision grows red with blood. There is no strength left in him. He flails around in the blood pool, struggling in vain to stand up. But the crushing weight of the helm wheel suffocates him, dislocating his arms and legs. He can no longer even raise his head. You win, Juana. Kill me. When I die, spare the crew. I'm the one who incited them to kill me. And this. Javier gazes into Juana's eyes. He has never done so from so close, close enough to see his own reflection in them. He suddenly feels like he still has something to say. That the day when you passed by my window, I was trying to bake bread for the first time. It didn't work out. It was black all over. I wasted precious food. No one would eat it, except you. You passed by the window and picked it up. You put it in your mouth with a big smile. You finished the whole bite. And I was thinking at the time that I'd give anything to see that smile again. Anything. Javier closes his eyes and waits for the inevitable. The helm wheel will find his neck, and then everything will be over.
Congratulations, Javi. You won your duel with the previous leader. Now stand up and get back to your crew.
Javier musters the last bit of strength he has, trying to stand. but the floor is wet and sticky with blood. It is all he can do to crawl forward, little by little. Then the sailors come, one after another, lifting their new leader from the blood, the one who fought with them to the bitter end. The blood they shed in the deadly struggle mingles on the ground. They put their shoulders together. The Corazonix on Isidro's right arm pulses. He swings his sword behind him and dodges towards the right. Anastasio follows closely, his blade pointed at Isidro's throat. Isidro knew that the boiling steam would gush out from a hole in the ship, stopping Anastasio's pursuit. Isidro takes his stance again. He sees how Anastasio's sword-holding hand is scalded by the steam, yet it doesn't tremble in the slightest. The burns do not faze Anastasio. He thirsts for pain. Isidro thrusts into the steam. Anastasio's sword falls from his hand with a clang. But his hand cannon is now pressed upon Isidro's brow. Anastasio is silent. He will not say another word until he has pulled the trigger. Isidro is forced back to the edge of the ship. There is nothing behind him but empty air. Once you were just a pitiful child struggling to survive. But now you've become a killer who's drowned his hands in blood on your so-called path of atonement. You're the only one who deserves death here. Isidro leaps. The sound of the hand cannon's shot echoes through the hollow bones of the valley. Isidro sees Anastasio put the hand cannon back on his belt, then closes his eyes as though he had just been reborn again. Isidro turns his head. The bottomless pit is right below him, the heat gushing within the bones resonating with the Corazonix on his arm. He knows the steam is about to swallow him. At the end, he looks towards the sky. Across the towering bones, through the heat wave of the steam, he can see clouds and sky, just like the azure ocean and white waves from the stories. The ocean he had wanted to see with his own eyes. Isidro falls towards the steam vent.
喧嘩のやり方はそれぞれに任せるけど、ヒーロー気取りの無理だけはしないでね。なんかあったら私を呼ぶこと。狙いを定めました。
即戦即決。全員の行動力を奪う。それでいいだろう。
武器なら目の前。我が刃が海を切り裂く。どうしようかな。君の正体すぐに分かっちゃったんだけど。もう一度チェックしよっと。
即戦即決。動き回る。そうすればお互い手間が省ける。
ここでは何も起きて。私の顔料になりたいのはどいつかしら。私に出会ったのが運の尽きだ。
誰が戦場で旗を武器にするんだよ。
諸君、この夜を裏切ることなかれ。
私に出会ったのが運の尽きだ。
海風が頬を膨らませ行動を開始だ。
距離を合わせて。言葉では伝わりにくいのよ。返すの。まあここでどうせ人形が
誰かな。
私に出会ったのが運の尽きだ。そんなにコソコソしなくていいよ。
みんなに秘密がバレちゃえばそれはもうバレてないようなものだからね。
これで静かになってくれよ。
波が船べりを打つ音が聞こえる。勝利の予兆だ。
I found them! Over here! They're here! Raise your shields! Form up! Don't let her get away!
All this just for little old me. Besides, why do you think I'm trying to get away?
This is not the first time the Inquisition has tried to take Pascuala's life, but this is the last time she's running.
Bring it on! You wanna kill me? Go ahead and try.
But she is no warrior. It is all she can do to dodge the attacks of two warrior priests. Soon even that is becoming difficult. Shield-wielding clerics block the way in front of her. Behind her is Teach, too weak to even stand.
What a shame. What I wouldn't give to hear those guys squabbling again. Yes, that's too much to ask.
Hold on! Have you seen Thorns? He was fighting Anastasia just a moment ago.
It's just Anastasia over there now. Stop, Elysium! You can't steer and use high-powered darts at the same time! Elysium!
I have to find him! Sure, he's lived through way more lab explosions than he had any right to, but he's still flesh and blood. Even Solfins have to avoid those steam jets if... We have to find him! At long last, you have ended his suffering and brought salvation to the souls of those he tried to drag into the abyss along with him. Timidly, hesitantly, Anastasia presses the tip of the sword against his own throat. No, you are not yet worthy to die. Freeing one poor soul who failed to recognize his desires to the last is not enough to atone for your sins. Reality lies before you, Anastasia. You have yet to eradicate the blight of desire plaguing this land. You are not worthy to. Senor Alguacil, are you alright? I am fine. Regroup, slay the remaining bandits, and capture both ships. I will take Juana myself. Senor, you promised to pay the bandits. They sought a reward from me like ravenous tusk beasts, the saliva dripping down their chins. Did you truly think they could live honest lives in Naran after being paid for such work? False kindness is but the worst cruelty. As you say, Senor Alguacil. Anastasia can hear the soul-wrenching cries and wailing. He knows he should board the ship, kill Juana, and end the struggle. But he does not move. He feels an emptiness, but does not know what is missing. It is as if Isidro had taken part of him with him. He turns around to look at the vent Isidro had fallen into, but only the gushing steam answers him. White steam bursts into red mist. Anastasia turns around to leave. In the next instant, a flash of light cuts the steam open. Isidro emerges from it. The corazonings that had covered his entire body parts ways to reveal his golden eyes. Anastasio sees something familiar in them. They are the eyes of one who thirsts to kill another, just like his own. Many people have told me many things about Iberia and the ocean my entire life. Some say the sea is Iberia's treasure, some its bane. Others say it is the final destination of the Iberians, their grave. Some have told me it was people like me who destroyed Iberia, others that its revival depends on people like me. Some have advised me to stay away from the ocean and live a normal life. Others tell me I can never truly escape it, for it is my only home. You've talked a lot about my desires. I admit it, I want to go out to sea. I want to see it for myself and conquer it. Then I will define what Iberia means to me. As he says these words, Isidro's sword finds Anastasio's neck. Anastasio feels both relief and fear at the blood flowing from it. His deepest sins flow out of him along with his blood. He is pure again. Yet he frantically tries to stop the bleeding. He is pure again, meaning he can live again, as long as he stops the bleeding. But only the blood will atone him. Anastasio realizes his own paradox. He stops his motion and falls from the ship and into the gap between the bones. I want to go out to sea. I will go out to sea. No one can stop me. Put down your weapons and let go of the wheel!
Delay them, Reef. Do whatever you have to. Buy as much time as you can. Can you hang in there, Elysium?
Oh, yeah, for a little while. Attack!
You broke the ship again. I just fixed it! Get out!
Wow, really? Thorns! You're okay! Dios mío, I can't believe I can see you again! Don't ever do that again. Did you break your arms? Legs? Strange. Everything seems fine. Is your head screwed on straight? Well, I guess it was never really screwed on straight to begin with. How on Terra are Vidi and I supposed to write our post-action reports? Whatever, just take this bottle of seasickness medicine. More stuff? How much have you given me on this trip? Besides, isn't it a little late for this? Oh, this one's different. It's extra strong. It'll come in handy. Throw the old one overboard. If the little one fidgets, tie her up. We need to learn how she stole the compass right from under our noses, and whether she had someone on the inside working with her.
Don't move. I'll bandage your wounds now.
Not one step forward! You bastards! Your leader promised a reward. Why are you attacking us? It is also the Alguacil who has sentenced you to death. Vete a la mierda. Everything you people say is fin shit. Your leader is dead. Everyone saw him fall from the ship. We can still carry out his will. How? Surrender, and we all go back to town in one piece. Don't, and we all die here. We just want to live normal lives. Would you rather die than trust us? Fine then, just try us! The surviving pirates raise their swords with their leader's cry. Not one warrior priest dares step forward.
Out of the way, Johannes. I'll have the helm. I said I would take you all out of this reef.
No, I'll do it. You're hurt. Besides, I have the compass.
You do?
My arm is the compass. I'll explain later. Basically, I can predict when and where each and every jet of steam is going to gush out. We'll make it.
Excelente. Then we sail.
Where are you going, Senora Juana?
I can't very well let Javier and the others die here.
They've already raised their sails. Looks like they're leaving. Everybody who can move, to your stations! Is the Inquisition just going to watch? Move your asses and help!
Follow La Conquista if you want to live. We'll all make it out of the skeletal reef in one piece.
Those on the salt ship breathe a sigh of relief when the last jet of steam can no longer reach them. Some sit on the deck, some lie down, all exhausted. Finally able to relax, Juana starts stomping around the deck. Finding a spot that sounds hollow, she picks up a cutlass and pries open the planks, revealing a crate of rum.
Aha! Naturally, no one else would ever find my rum. We're not far from the sea, Javi. It would be hard for the salt ship to turn back if it goes any further. Get some rest here. Isidro and I will draw a map of the reef steam vents so you can sail your way back.
One moment.
What is it?
I don't want to force anyone into a life they don't want. If anyone wants to go with you, I won't stop them. Whoever wants to go out to sea with Senora Juana, this is your last chance. If you do, get aboard La Conquista. The rest are coming back to town with me. Going out to sea? You're still thinking about that? With no supplies and a skeleton crew? What about food and water? Materials for repairs? Medicine? Weapons? This is loco!
Why even bother at this point? She's out of her mind, sailing to their depths.
Are they really going out to sea? Now? Javier, like I said, it's your choice. I won't say anything. I don't want to live a life I don't want, so I won't force you to either. Choose. The sun's about to set. The crowd grows quiet and parts into two groups. A few follow Juana towards the edge of the deck, but turn around quickly. Hey, hermano. Listen, I've got a little package in my drawer. There's a pocket watch inside, some money and a letter. Can you take the letter to Abby in town? If you do, the money's all yours. Just make sure she gets the letter, okay? Tell her to wait, because I'll be back with a big pile of coin. You said Abby? Abby, the redhead. Red Abby, gotcha.
You're not coming? Don't you want to see the sea? I'm too tired. My back's bad these days too. Can't even sleep in a hammock. The bed we had back in town, well, it felt so good. Guess this is it then. Adios.
Juana leaps upon La Conquista, followed by the sailors who elected to go with her. Javier takes another swig of rum. Adios. The two ships ran with the wind, sailing across the salt flat at a leisurely pace.
Take care of Teach. She's not so young anymore and might need to lie down for a few days, but she should be fine.
You're not going with Senora Juana?
Nah, why the heck would I do that? I'd rather have a good life with a lot of money. Going out to sea sounds pretty rough if you ask me.
But you had her back this whole time. I was sure.
Because Juana promised me a lot of money. A lot of money. Which will help me meet new people and find ways to make even more money.
Wait.
Save your breath. I'm just a dirty little thief after all. You won't change my mind with a few words.
Okay, good luck. I hope you find what you want and live a good life.
Thanks, Perlito.
Pascuala pets the salt off herself and jumps on the rope net linking the two ships.
Hasta la vista, baby. Maybe I'll be rich the next time we meet.
Elysium. Elysium?
Hmm? Oh, what is it?
I was talking to Senora Juana and Thorns. They want to go out to sea, but the ship has taken a beating. So I'm going to stay here a while and help with repairs. Getting to work with the frame of a genuine Golden Age battleship, plus a bionic transmission system designed by Senora Juana herself, based on solving biology. It's fascinating. Besides, I want to see if my research will be of use on this ship. How about you report back to Rhode Island first? I'll be back once I'm done here.
Will you be okay by yourself?
Well, we're short on food, water and comfortable bedding, plus the only way to bathe is to wipe yourself off with salt. But nothing a dedicated researcher can handle. A small price to pay for the chance to study such a fascinating subject. Besides, I have leave with me.
Alright, I hope you find what you're looking for here.
I'll get on with my blueprints then. See you at Rhode Island.
You too.
My goodness, look at what they did to my ship.
Don't say that. Really worked so hard to patch it up. You'll make me cry.
You really don't know when to stop talking, do you?
A truly handsome man has a way with words. Are you preparing to set sail, Senora Juana?
What's this now? Concern for me?
We have brushes with death together, ate dried saltman together, even slept under the same blanket. The least I could do is bid you farewell before you go. Buen camino, Senora. If we meet again, I'd love to hear the stories of your adventures on the high seas.
Not a problem.
Walking around the deck, Elysium sees that Teach is finally beginning to regain consciousness. Are you awake, Senora Teach? I'm going back to town with Javier's group. I came to say goodbye.
Thanks.
You know, I've come to admire you a lot, Senora. You remind me of my own captain. May safe winds take you out to sea, that you may find the battles against wind and wave that you seek.
Thanks, Chaval.
Oh, one more thing. Piladita asked me to give you these herbs. Works best when boiled, she said, but can also be chewed and swallowed directly if water is in short supply.
Gracias.
Elysium continues to stride the deck until he has no more goodbyes left to say. He walks up to the rope net linking the two ships and sees a figure standing at the bow of La Conquista. His old buddy. He waves at Isidro from a distance. Adios, amigo! The salt ship sails off slowly. On the deck, all is quiet, as the crew watches the people they know gradually become smaller. A few rush up to the edge, as though they had changed their minds and wanted to jump across to the other ship, but are forced to stop as the distance between them grows. They each watch the other go further and further away. Look, Javier! The mast of La Conquista! Atop the mast, Juana lifts the hems of her dress, as if stepping atop the setting sun. The fading light adorns her dress with a golden glow. Wind lifts white grains of salt from the ground like blowing snow. All eyes are fixated upon her dance, both on this ship and the other. They look up in silence. The ships sail in opposite directions, with only a few eyes glancing at the sea of white salt before them, and the sunset growing closer or further. Away they go, until the figures on the other ship have become as small as grains of salt. Alright, and everybody made peace. Anastasio is finito, and the parties are going their own way now. One part of the pirates is going back home, or back to Aron, the other one is going out to sea. So yeah. Also, by the way, very quickly, if the boss battle looked absolutely weird at the end there, that's because the original kill went a bit different. Yeah, this battle is very, and I'm sure people already know this, but the battle is very RNG heavy, I would say. And yeah, the original run went completely different, and this recording is absolutely different. The recording went exactly in the way that I expected it to go with. Plus, this story didn't allow me to really pack a lot of operators in that are story relevant. I did pack the 4 that were in the story, but you know, it's 4 against this guy, and this guy is a bit of a doozy to fight with these 4. So whatever. At least Thorns doubles up as his normal and the altar version, so there's that. But I had to bring the far better and far superior Inquisitor along to do the spinny spin. The spinny spin dance of I win, you lose. Good God. But yeah, that was quite a adventure to get here. And we are not done yet. But before we do so and go to the final cutscene, we have the new enemy to add, which is obviously the boss of the stage, Anastasio, the Atoner. Good God, what a guy. Anastasio has died. Anastasio rises again. He lives to atone for the sins ingrained in his very nature. He imbibes both the innocent for living and the sinner for dying. For it is not his place to either live with integrity or die in peace. Good God, what a character. Anyway, we move on to our final cutscene, the EPSD3 titled Adios Tierra. Those who are paralyzed by fear bid farewell to the land. Weeks later. This is the only intact salt ship left. The rest have taken damage, but there are plenty of salvageable parts. These are the blueprints, along with notes on their operations. And here's a map of the salt flat. I'll take everything. Think of the time we'll save. You can travel straight through the salt flat. Name your price. Here, gold doubloons only, no credit. Deal. Here we go. Is this enough? Looks correct to me. Well then, I'll be going. Have a good day, senores. You didn't even hesitate. Did we ask for too little? 1 second. Is something the matter? Javier catches up and climbs up the deck by rope. I want to keep this helm wheel. How much? I'll pay you back. The helm wheel, of all things, is the most important part of the ship. Well, if you really want it, I'll part with it for this much. No, don't give me that look. We had a deal. It's my ship now, right? We do honest business here. It's only a question of whether you think it's worth the price. Never mind then. How unfortunate. Well, I hope to do business with you again. Sailors, roll call. Here's the cash from selling the salt ship. Everyone gets an equal share. Do whatever you want with it. Here's your share, Russ. What? Not sure what I want to do with it. Just make a choice. It's not hard. I wanted to leave Juana for stability. Then you turned out to be just as loco, so I figured we'd never have peace under you. And now I'm in this town looking at the folks here, all thin and gaunt, their eyes like dead fins. This what peace looks like. And if I go anywhere else, how can I live a decent life when I've only ever been a pirate? Go ahead and laugh, but I admire Teach. She's just a few years older, but she knows what she wants. When I saw her make up her mind to go with Juana, even with all those injuries, I wouldn't have had the guts. Well, forget me. What about you? Probably go somewhere else. Open a restaurant. Well, if that's what you want, I'm just gonna finish this smoke and get going. Who can say for sure where the future lies, right? Javi watches as the white sail of the salt ship disappears in the distance, as does Russ's silhouette. He puts his own share in his pocket and walks down the road.
How much for this?
1 silver piece.
What about this?
Same.
Hey, that's not half bad. I'll have this, and this. Put them on my car, the one behind me.
Sure thing. Where are you heading with all of this stuff?
I just bought whatever I wanted. What's wrong with that?
Oh, nothing at all. Just tell me if you want anything else and I'll load it up for you.
That's more like it. Clothes, accessories, trinkets. Feels like I'm still missing something. But what?
Yeah, crazy, right? How was I supposed to know it turned out like that? Good heavens.
Hey, that buckle on his belt looks pretty nice. And shiny. Is it metal or gemstone? I want it. I want it so bad.
They found it on the road and decided to dig it up. Thought it might fetch a few coins. They found a buyer? I can't believe it.
They haven't noticed me, and it's right there.
Can you believe they offered that much? Enough to set you up for life. Is that why we're heading that way?
Got it!
Yeah, we'll make it big in Colombia.
Make it big?
Pascual, let's go, and the buckle falls back onto the man's belt.
What do you mean, make it big?
Whoa! Were you eavesdropping?
I wouldn't have said anything if it were anyone else, but you do look pretty smart to me. A cut above the rest, you might say. Which is why I mustered the courage to speak up. Here's my fare. It's a long way to Colombia, so why don't you tell me more about it on the way?
Are we really going out to sea, Senora? Can't believe I lived to see the day.
Of course we are, Perlita. We're heading out to sea.
Incredible. Juana brushes her windswept hair and looks behind her.
Now we really have nothing left, Isidro, but my mind is set. Will you be coming with us?
Senora Juana, will you be my first mate?
Well, alright then, Captain. I'm ready to... Huh? It seems my old friend is a little grumpy. Let's see if we can cheer her up. I suppose the new energy system is a bit much for a decades-old transmission core.
Vidi already went back in her modified boat. Guess we'll have to fix it ourselves. What materials do we got?
Isidro, what's in that bulky bag you have there?
Things Elysium gave me. I'm not sure how helpful they'll be.
Well, open it up and we'll find out.
Isidro opens his backpack, and the contents spill out. Juana and Teach lean forward and examine them.
Vitamins? Certainly useful at sea.
And so are the radio equipment and waterproof boots. These tools will come in handy with the repairs.
Looks like we owe him one. None of these things would be easy to find out here.
I'm taking these two. Might be able to fix the problem.
By the look on your face, I take it you didn't know. Did he hand you all of this on the day we said goodbye?
No, we didn't say goodbye that day. He's been giving me things from time to time since a while ago. I just stuffed everything into a bag. He knew. Even before I did.
Of course he knew. He's your best buddy, isn't he?
Fixed it! You ready then? We can set sail? Hey, oh! We're sailing! We're sailing!
Let's go, Captain. It's time to set a course.
Isidro takes the spyglass from Juana. Grains of salt stir up on the flat like white waves, but he soon turns his eyes from that flat false sea to the sky on the horizon, to that one little streak of bright blue. Standing on the bow by himself, he reaches out with his arm and waits for the whirling light upon it to point the way. Quick flashback. He stands on the street, putting his palms together. The last speck of stardust has dispersed, and darkness takes over once again.
The fireworks is over. Is it time to go? Let's go. Time to go home.
The onlookers disperse. The crowd that had gathered because of him have left him again. Receiving no answer from him, Juana steps forward, with Teach following behind her on the front deck. One by one, the sailors gather, trying to see what their new captain is seeing. A crowd forms around Isidro. Those who have fallen behind have to strain their necks and force their way through. What is it, Captain? What do you see? Have you found which way to go?
Which way is the sea? Are we sailing in the right direction?
Isidro does not answer. His entire attention is focused upon his arm.
Why is it spinning?
How long does this take? Where are we going? Where will we go from here?
Patience, patience. Our captain will tell us the answer.
Now, which way do we go? At his question, the light on his arm converges, pointing towards the horizon, straight and firm. He longs to sail towards the boundless ocean together with his friends. Thus, the Corazonix points out the direction for him. Sailors cheer. Rum is spilled. Over yonder! The sea! All eyes are upon Isidro.
Give the order, Captain.
The sailors already have ropes in hand. Juana's hand is on the helm, waiting for his command. Isidro takes a deep breath and takes in the eager eyes gazing upon him, filled with hopes and expectations, burdens that he is no longer afraid to bear. He feels the wind of the salt flat. His shoulders are light. Ahoy, sailors! Anchors away! Hoist the sails! We sail out to sea! To sea! Hey-oh! Anchors weigh, hoist the sails, high winds roar, our clothes adore. Rain drowns our drunken haze, and lights our hearts ablaze. Radio sail forth, 1,000 ships break port! I will wrestle the waves, I will sail the winds, I will fence the lightning. I want to find the treasure buried at the bottom of the sea, all that shiny gold.
You know, I've been thinking, we all came together because we want to go out to sea. So, would we split up again if we have different ideas?
You're thinking that far ahead, Chaval. Whatever the future holds, we're together now. And we're going out to sea. So stop thinking too much and grab that rope.
Got some rum for you, Captain Isidro. Say something.
Isidro stands atop the bow. They can feel the air grow moist. It is an exciting feeling. Into the distance.
familiar sound. Nene? Nene, you're alive!
Nene eagerly licks Juana's cheeks.
Oh, are you coming out to sea with us?
Nene bounces around excitedly.
Oh, my sweet baby!
A trail of blood leads from the steam to the depths of the boundless salt flat. A cold tongue tastes the blood in the mouth. Broken limbs keep crawling, driven by a powerful desire that lives on without its master. A short distance away, an appendage breaks through the salt layer, wiggling towards the sunlight it has not seen for many years. Then a second, a third. It is another powerful desire without a master, compelling the light-emitting organ to reach for the sun, as though trying to gain the sun's light. All he wants is to live on. All it wants is to live on. By whatever means, in whatever form. The broken parts of man and seaborn struggle, wiggle, hungrily devouring each other. They will walk this land in perpetuity. Oh my god, he's alive! He's alive and the Seaborn is alive and they ate each other and now we have... I don't even know what nightmare just happened there at the end. Oh. Well, that's something to look forward to in the future. Good God. What in the monstrosity is gonna come out of these two? This guy is already a boss battle and a half. And then the Seaborn, depending on which one you're fighting, can be a boss battle and a half. What the shit is gonna come out of these two combining? Do I even want to know? I don't think I want to know. I don't think anybody wants to know. But the nightmare exists. It is out there. They have combined. Oh god. But yeah, anyhow, Pasquale is on the way to Colombia apparently. No idea what those two guys were talking about some kind of excavation that happened with something lucrative. Maybe that's something new? Maybe not, I don't know. This story is not very specified when it's taking exactly place. So it's kind of hard to figure out what certain events are connected to this or when this is taking place rather compared to other events. Because excavation-wise, I don't know what they could be meaning over in Colombia unless it's something completely new. Because my first thoughts are going to certain objects that are, you know, buried there in the vicinity of certain Rhine labs. But I don't know. I don't know what they could be referring to, quite honestly. Maybe it's just a tease to something new. Maybe it's a hint to something old. I don't know. You guys can maybe fill in the blanks if it's obviously not something spoilery from the CN client. But yeah, very interesting. And yeah, this rounds up our story. Thorns is a pirate captain now. Hey ho. That's gonna be interesting. I hope this story is gonna have some kind of follow-up where this overlaps maybe with a future Aegir storyline where Thorns pops up in. Because that would, I guess, make sense if these guys are going back out to sea now. And we have the current storyline with the Aegir now being more proactive and working with everybody and pronouncing their presence to the world and everything. Which means that I guess Thorns could appear in a future Aegir storyline. I would be for it. That would be interesting, especially seeing the pirates interact with the Aegir and everything. I mean, technically speaking, Juana is an Aegir, so that's already a thing, and she's a very old Aegir that still looks smoking hot. Anyway, that marks the end of the story. So let's talk a quick bit about it. First off. Story by itself, I was super fine with this thing. It was not too long, not too short. Pacing was also very fine. I didn't feel any kind of bit of the story kind of dragging too long. Seeing also a couple of the like flashbacks for Thorns and his like childhood, I was kind of those were great, but I was kind of hoping to see a couple of more of them. When they started off the story with flashbacks to Aulus and Aulus teaching Thorns how to do some stuff, I was kind of honestly hoping that there's gonna be more. Because that was one of those things that was for Thorns, at least for a long time, teased that. Like his connection to the Church of the Deep and everything. But never really elaborated on and never really told to us about too much. So it's kind of like a thing of, we didn't know, we still don't know properly. But I would love to know? I don't know. I would love to see more of that. And hopefully if Aulus actually returns in the future, because he is still out there. He is definitely still out there, and I hope he's gonna be back in the future, because I do want to hear more about this guy, because he's one of those rare what are they called again? Priests of the Deep, bishops of the Deep, whatever. That is quite interesting. He is quite interesting, and I quite want to see more of him. But hopefully we'll see something about him in the future. But yeah, anyway, story itself was great, like I said. It was pretty much a very good pirate story, with all the hoops and loops of a pirate story that come with it. And we had some very creepy, spooky shit on top of it. And that was very creepy and spooky. My god, Anastasio is a monstrosity. I was actually for a long while thinking that he was already a seaborn. But apparently not. I guess whatever. Is he a Liberi, by the way? Because he has those little bits that do kind of seem like Liberi, but I also think like he might be Ager? I don't know. I guess he's Liberi if he's in the Inquisition, because right now we don't really have too many Ager. Do we actually have any? I mean, we have Lumen, who is working for the Inquisition technically, but that is a recent kind of thing. The Inquisition is mostly dominated by Liberi, by the bird race. So I don't know. This guy, I guess is a Liberi, but kind of leaves me the impression that he's already kind of like an Ager or something. I don't know. Reminds me more of an Ager at the end of the day. Probably isn't, but this is probably just me, but yeah, whatever. But he is back, he's out there, he's creepier than ever, and the good god, we're gonna have to deal with him again in the future. But yeah, anyway, let's go through the characters. First off, like I already said, Aulus, I was kind of hoping there's gonna be more of him, that he might even pop up in the story for some reason, but nothing happened. And I am still waiting for more Aulus stuff. I would love to see more of him. He is interesting. At least he seems interesting. Then we had Russ. I can't really say much about Russ. He was kind of like a minor character. Didn't really vibe with me too much. And he was a bit of a... would coward be the right way to describe him? Because he was very opposed. He was pretty much the opposition to Juana and her decisions. He was not vibing with her being like the crazy chick and everything, so him essentially opposing her and wanting a stable life compared to whatever crazy shit she was pulling off makes sense, but the things he pulled off were quite drastic. And then pulling Javier as well into the whole shit was yeah, it was something. But he is alive. He doesn't seem like a super bad guy or something, like he dislikes everybody. He's just a pirate. He just wanted safety. He just wanted to live and enjoy life. Understandable, but still, you kind of fucked up a lot. Javier was I guess sorta interesting. He did have quite a bit of complexity to him. I mean, first off, the guy lost his family, then what was brought up by Juana herself, who is basically his mom. Essentially his mom. He wanted to protect her, but started to doubt what she was doing as... I would say his interesting point, like his development as a character, started the moment Thorns got close, or rather, Juana started being very interested in Thorns because he's an alchemist. I feel like there was a bit of a encroaching on your own territory kind of feeling there. Like he was technically her son, and now we have this new guy who just waltzes in, and she shows a lot of interest toward him. There was probably something about him being a bit of jealous towards Thorns, more than likely, that drove him even more to the whole thing of he wants also safety instead of going down the crazy route, essentially, that he believed Juana was gonna do. Plus probably because he got sort of rattled as well a tiny bit around the middle point of the story. Russ speaking into his ear essentially, and pretty much putting him on the track of where he ended up on. But yeah, very interesting. But he did show character at the end, a lot of character, when he stood up for pretty much all of the pirates that are under him essentially, and took the brunt of the attack from Juana, who almost killed him essentially. But he lived, and she gave him the victory after he pretty much had that little heart-to-heart moment with her there, lying in his own blood and in the blood of everybody else essentially. But he had his development. He started off as okay, but ended up pretty good, in my opinion. Then we have Silver. Well, Silver was quite a character. He was pretty much a devout person to his own hometown because of more than likely how much he invested in it. He was... that's pretty much... I would say that pretty much describes him pretty well. He was super invested into his own hometown. I mean, he devoted everything to it his entire life. Kept it safe, kept all the people as safe as possible, fed, kept them away from cannibalism that at one point was probably ravaging everything through the villages we've seen. But at the same time, later down the line, he wanted to abolish the things he put into people's heads, essentially, how much they were brainwashed by his own doctrines that he put on them, his own set of rules. But he wanted to clear everything up, but him clearing everything up pretty much led him down the same path of becoming a pirate. So, yeah, it's funny how things turn around, right? The Inquisition is supposed to be the good guys, but at the end, they were pretty much the bad guys. Like, really the bad guys in this story, holy shit. And he got his comeuppance. He is absolutely dead. Killed by Anastasio. I do love that one portion of the story where the moment he saw Anastasio get blown away by the explosion and thought like, oh, no one can live this explosion, and this is a perfect... Pretty much the thoughts that went through the guy's head were probably, okay, perfect opportunity. He got blown away. He was a freak and crazy and scary as hell. We got rid of him. Good riddance. Let's pack up what we have and go the shit home. Who cares about the rest? We need stuff to save the city. Sadly, all of that backfired. And he died. That's it. That's his end. Anastasio. Well, I have already said a couple of things, but whoo boy, what a creep show. My god, I love him for all the creepy shit. That was great. He was an antagonist, alright. I really enjoyed him. And he was also fun to voice. To do a bit of the creepy nonsense and stuff with him was pretty interesting, not gonna lie. But yeah, he is not dead. Holy shit, he is so unkillable. Like, what the hell? He is pretty much being just kept alive by his own, either by whatever species he's supposed to be, like what race he came, what subspecies he came from if he is a Liberi, which again is surprising that if he is a bird that he's surviving so much damage to himself. Like, holy shit. I am still shocked that it didn't turn out that he was actually a Seaborn already, or some shit like that. That he was just regular human. Good god. But yeah, very creepy. I enjoyed every bit of him throughout the story, and how absolutely ridiculous he was, and his whole his absolute insanity about how he sees stuff, and how he just doesn't see a way for himself to die until he finishes this mission that he put himself into his head. Good god. But yeah, we'll see him again someday, somehow. Whew. Alright, our operators that were part of the story. First off, really was a bit of a surprise. Like I did say in one of the earlier parts, I did already kind of suspect that she's gonna be in the story just because of the main menu right here. Like, she was down here, and I was like, is that her? And then the story pretty much confirms that, yeah, that is her. Fun. It was pretty fun to see her in this story, I'm not gonna lie. And also a very big surprise. And for the most part, I kind of was thinking for most of the story she's just gonna be beeline and she's just here. But then at the end she was doing stuff, and she had a nice little crash out moment as well when the ship started being continuously damaged. Even spooked the shit out of Thorns, Elysium. That was peak. I loved it. But yeah, it was nice to see her in a story finally. So that is that. Elysium, what a bro, what a broski. Good god. He can be a bit of an obnoxious guy, I would say, but at the same time, he's just a bro. He has this uncanny ability to read the room very well, and especially when it comes to his best buddy Thorns, like, especially like we've seen at the end, the entire way throughout the story, he kept giving him things and giving, and by the end of the story, he pretty much prepared Thorns for the whole journey ahead, which is so wholesome as well to see. How much he already foresaw that Thorns is gonna just say that, yeah, I wanna go out to sea. I wanna see the ocean and everything, and experience this life out there. And yeah, what a bro, and he can be funny. Also, goddamn, really, that whole bit with who is gonna use a flag as a weapon? My god. Whoever wrote that line in, the only thing missing from that scene, if this would have been like for example, like Reverse 1999 has the animated like sprites moving around and, you know, emoting and stuff. If this game had animated sprites, Thorns would have looked straight dead ass at us, the players, and just winked during that line. I would have laughed my ass off. But yeah, anyway, that was amazing. Elysium is always fun to do as well. Pascuala, aka Rose Salt. My god, what a Spanish gremlin. I love her to bits. Good god, the energy of that kid is amazing. Oh, I want more stories where she appears. Oh, speaking of Pascuala, considering I didn't have time to both record and or put and see what her operator record has, she does have one, which will go up on the channel in the next couple of days, so keep a lookout for that. It will... I have no idea if it's gonna be a prequel or a sequel to this story. We'll see together when I record and upload it. But for now, I have no plan. But I'm looking forward to seeing what it is, because I want to see more of this little gremlin. And she's on her way to Colombia. We'll see how that goes, I guess. But yeah, Pascuala was great, seeing her bond with everybody, and how much she picked up like the mannerisms from Elysium, which again just shows how much of an impression Elysium actually left on her, which is great. There were definitely moments throughout the story where she was definitely heavily bonding with him and just tuning it away, in a sense, in her own sense. But that was great. And especially her bonding with Teach towards the end as well, and having that crash out and just having that moment to let loose and show the Inquisition whose boss was great. Oh yeah, right. I went to our main operators, but I forgot one character from the other party, from the non-operators, from the NPCs. Juana. What a character. I really, really like her as a character. She had a lot of personality and style, and her backstory is also very, very nice and very heartbreaking as well. That whole part with Cruz and putting the Seaborn guy to rest, and then at the end of the story we have that little tease of, you didn't die! Oh, you didn't do a well enough job, Juana. Oh boy, he's still around. Oh boy, he's still around. But yeah, she was a great character. I really enjoyed her. She was fun to voice, and her little relationship with the tiny little adorable mascot of the story, Nene, was who didn't really show up too much after the beginning and only at the end of the story. So it's kind of sad, but I'm happy that the little guy was being kept safe outside of the danger that was happening. But yeah, she was a great character, powerful. I like how she was dealing with the pirates and everything. And of course her perception, or rather the people's perception of her being like a crazy character or crazy person, just comes from the fact that she's, as indicated by one of the discussions she had with Elysium, she's just prone to gamble with stuff. And that gambling can lead to good stuff, it can also lead to bad stuff. But yeah, such is the gamble with the decisions in life, right? But she was great. Like I said earlier, for Thorns as well, considering they're out now at sea, I do hope that that she's gonna appear more. And speaking of those NPCs as well, Teach was also pretty good. Didn't really appear too much or have too... I wouldn't say she had like a major presence in the story, but the parts with her that were there, she definitely left an impression. Plus, she looks absolutely cool. An old lady pirate, hell yes. And yeah, she definitely left an impression. Pretty much the mom and the granny of the whole pirate crew, in a sense. We'll see if she's gonna be appearing with them in the future. Also, weirdly enough, just like Javier, she's kind of like an adopted child by Juana as well, when you take that into account. And it becomes very weird because she is old and gray while Juana is still... She looks still like she's in the prime of her years. Those Ager genes, Jesus Christ. But yeah, our final character obviously will be Thorns, aka Isidro, and I liked his arc throughout this story. Just painting him as a character, finally having a story with him, seeing a development with him, flashing back to his old days as well, that is mentioned, and that was already kind of shown through both his operator record file and the one story that was dropped into that old side story from ages ago. But yeah, he was not really much the social butterfly. He was pretty much a vagabond, and slowly over time started to bond with people, to understand that this is a life he can have, essentially. And seeing him here actually buckle down and embrace this family that he found, like that one portion of the story, especially that symbolism of he walked away and from the camp in that night and left a lonely trail of footprints leading away, and then when he goes back, the narration text going pretty much that the footprints are not alone anymore. That was so good. That little moment was so good. when you pick up on what the text is saying, it was so good. But yeah, he's a pirate captain now, and he is out at sea. And we shall see if that will bring anything in the future. I'm hoping it will, because I would love to see more of him. He is a pretty good character again. He formed his decision finally. He has a firm foot down in life now, and we shall see where life takes him. Hopefully to good venues. But yeah, anyway, that would be it for this story. Overall, I really enjoyed my time with it. It was fun to voice through. The characters were pretty good as well on top of it. It did have a couple of little things here and there, like a couple... I would say the most negative stuff that I can nitpick out of this story is a lot of typos, which I've seen yet again in this story. Especially towards the end, I saw a couple of them, which it's always troublesome when you're doing these voiceovers and there's a typo, and you're so into it. Like, you're so into it, you're so locked into doing both character voices, narration, and everything, just bouncing back and forth between each sentence and a character, and so on and so forth. And you're so locked in, and then the typo comes in, and you're so locked into reading the text, and then you read the typo and immediately just brain freeze. Because you realize, oh god, no, I read it. Shit, I didn't correct it. Ah! No, now I need to go back. Oh, so many times. Both this and the previous story that I was doing on the channel, the I Portatori, the Lapland Altar story. The Lapland Altar story had a shit ton of typos, by the way. I've already talked about those over there. But that one was also horrendous in a couple of bits to record when you're so locked in the moment, and then a typo comes along and you're just focused on reading and doing character voices, and you're not thinking about, oh shit, this is the sentence I need to correct. But yeah, I don't know. At least it didn't have as many typos as the Lapland Altar story. That's all I can say. So it's already better. Well, at least in that department. But yeah, still, very good story, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Next story after this, I think, is gonna be the next Sui sibling story, where we get the little bro, and yeah, and a certain altar also coming along. That will be interesting. But yeah, anyway, that will be for the next time. For now, I have a solid month of a break, and as you might have just noticed on the screen, concluded. Perfect. But yeah, anyway, sorry, that was kind of funny that just happened. But anyway, thank you all very much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. I would very much appreciate it and it would help out the video a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. A lot more to come, of course. There's way more stories and archives to cover. A lot of new ones coming, and very interesting ones. And of course, if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open, and as I always say, no video will be behind a membership. It's purely there to support me, my work, and the channel. And of course, leave a comment as well on the videos. Those help quite a lot for the algorithm as well. And yeah, what follows is the clip section. Hope you're gonna enjoy that. And as always, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the clips, and bye-bye. This tale of alchemical failure ruse. Oh my god, what is that demonic face? What the shit? Whoa, buddy. Count your lucky stars, you got to snuggle up to a once-in-a-lifetime hottie like me. Hey, who threw a blanket over my head? Aw, this is very wholesome right now. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh, I don't like this perspective. Silver perspective? Oh god. Okay, I have a feeling I know what's going to happen in a second. Oh god, time for scary shit. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. A tiny flame sways in the wind, the flickering light illuminating the darkness. His eyes begin to adjust and take in his surroundings. Oh god. Hi. He's alive. Of course he's alive. Good god. Oh god. Well, that is nicely creepy. Oh, rip Silver.
Teach! Teach!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pasquala presses her cheeks against Teach's arm, trying to feel her body temperature. Oh. Oh. Fuck's sake. White steam bursts into red mist. Anastasio turns around to leave. Damn, son.
You know, I've come to admire you a lot, Senora. You remind me of my own captain.
Oh god, yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about that. Oh, I mean, they are probably close in... actually... No, yeah, they could be close in age, I guess. Depending on the species difference, how long they can live for. But, yeah, they would be very close. At least in, like, biological internal clock age. A trail of blood leads from the steam to the depths of the boundless sulfur. Is he still alive? Holy mother, can this man die? Jesus! A cold tongue tastes the blood in the mouth. Broken limbs keep crawling, driven by a powerful desire that lives on without its master. A short distance away, an appendage breaks through the salt layer, wiggling towards a sunlight it has not seen for many years. Then a second, a third. Oh, wait. No, that's not... It is another powerful desire without a master, compelling the light-emitting organ to reach for the sun, as though trying to gain the sun's light. Holy shit, Cruz is alive? Oh my god. I thought for a second that... that creepy bitch is alive, but Cruz is alive? Ugh, the cracking, ugh. All he wants is to live on. All it wants is to live on. Oh, wait. Did Cruz stumble upon... Oh, no. By whatever means, in whatever form, the broken parts of man and seaboard struggle, wiggle, hungrily devouring each other. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, pff. No, that is a future boss waiting to come back somehow. They will walk this land in perpetuity. Oh god, no. Oh god, no. Can we not have this shit? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.